Got it.
All right, this is the Batcave Beats podcast, and we're joined here today with Jay Shim or Z Shim,
ZSHIM, yeah.
Z Shim, and we're gonna get going. And he's gonna tell you a little bit about his the background of his music, kind of how he started making music.
Uh, all right. So yeah, I'm from Tampa, Florida. I started making music with my buddy in high school at I think it was like junior year. He always kind of did it, and I've always played guitar, used to play drums. But um, but yeah, just like he kind of just told me he was doing music with an iPad and plug and mic, and was just kind of like, dude, you should try it. And it was GarageBand. And I heard my voice with very low, great equipment. And from there, I was kind of just like, I should look into this a little bit. Maybe, try to see if I can invest into find a producer that works with me, a sound engineer. And I think it was COVID made it a little difficult, but it was probably around my freshman year coming into High Point. So I still had to do college, but that I found a sound engineer that really worked with me. And so I finally, went to a professional studio. And that was definitely the kind of turning point. And if I was going to do this just as a hobby versus what I want to do the rest of my life. And I don't know, I heard myself in the studio, and it's definitely easy to think when you're, I'm grateful that I've my parents supporting me and everything. But when I heard my voice in the studio and just the professional sound that I was hearing, I was like, and just that be my first time, it was kind of just with anything, baseball, soccer, if you keep up with that, you'll just get better. And I felt the same way. I played soccer my whole life. And I tore my ACL junior year of high school. So I was gonna do soccer the rest of my life, or not rest of my life. I was gonna do that, in college. That was what I wanted to do the rest, for a while. But I found music, everything up for a reason. And took a leap of faith, and just I don't know, one thing led to another. And now I'm 4 years into being kind of serious about it. This being basically everything I do besides the school aspect to me. And it's been doing its thing. I'm grateful that I've been able to have the success I have. And I'm kind of just really ready to graduate. I'm a senior in in college, so it's definitely it's been a long kind of journey leading up to this point. But now it's just been I don't know, it's been crazy. I did an internship in LA with my sound engineer who I met in Tampa in Florida, and then he moved up to LA 2 summers ago. And I got that kind of experience. And then I did Nashville this summer, and because then he moved back. But I was also doing Nashville for I created my major at High Point, and I'm at college. And so I created music business as a major here. And so the only way I was able to do that was to get credits in Nashville or in a music business school. So I did that over the summer, but also was able, it just so happened that my producer also moved back from LA to Nashville. So I was able to work with him again for another summer, and then just make more music. And also just I was in writing classes, I was in music business classes. So I realized at least for the LA Nashville vibe, I like Nashville more, at least for cost wise. And it's the people, it's not as materialistic. LA definitely had its it's had I met some pretty crazy people, but at the same time it's super expensive. And also I don't know, I just think in Nashville people care about you more, which I feel overall that should be the most important thing. If where you want to go, you should surround yourself with people you like-minded individuals, but also people that you enjoy being around, and feel you don't have to be LA is very if you can't do something for someone, then they're not gonna want to do something with you at all. Even if you're talented, even if you're I don't know, I met some really cool people, but I think Nashville's been my home, and that's where I want to go to. So after graduation, definitely be doing that. But yeah, that's kind of the quick story of how I have gotten to where I am right now. I don't know, I would never look back though. It's definitely, this industry is awesome.
Yeah, Nashville definitely has more of a community feel to it, where people are
Mm-hmm.
more likely to lend a helping hand, and everybody kind of understands what it's like to try and grow your name and stuff, and they
Mm-hmm.
are a lot more helpful, it seems.
And I definitely a lot of people were kind of thinking I imagine it's more country there, but kind of going there now. It's changing, and
Mhm.
it's definitely you get 50% country Christian music, and then the other 50% is any other genre. And I kind of like being that kind of every all the other genres are split up, but when someone comes up to me, they kind of expect a country singer. Not really looking at me, but they just expect that because they're in Nashville. And whenever they hear it's anything but country, they're always almost more intrigued, because they're oh, like, okay, like, let me hear your stuff. And then I don't know, like, it's just when I stick out more and I kind of enjoy that aspect of it. Nashville or LA is definitely a lot more like, I mean, that's where the pop industry is. So I don't know, someone in, in the pop industry is kind of just like, it's really difficult staying out there, like I said. So it's, and just the city's awesome. I go there like once a month because I'm also, well, I've been working with, I'm technically not working with this month. And I'm waiting now till I graduate, but, I've worked with like a social media company. So like they were running my Instagram and like my TikToks and stuff. It just kind of like the whole graduation thing, like of like having to like make content like every day and like it just and balance the school thing. And I'm also in a fraternity and just like actually wanting to hang out with my friends sometimes, want to play Xbox sometimes. Like it's like not an easy balance. And at this point, I think I'm just trying to like take a break from it. Even though I've been, having my success, I just like want to take a step back for like just a little bit, graduate, and then I'm like ready to go full into it. And I mean, I have a lot of stuff coming out too. So I'm still pushing. I've been building the vault for like the past like 3 years of like, I don't know, I got like probably, I mean, it's not a lot for, I mean, I've worked with some artists that like will go to the studio and they'll like make 10 songs in like 5 hours. And you're like, all right, that's like not normal. Like, I mean, for me, like I'll go to the studio, I'll make like maybe, hopefully like I'll finish the song. Like it's, that's also because I'm like really picky with kind of my stuff, and also just like, I don't know, I'm just getting into it. But yeah, I probably have like 10 songs in the vault that I've been like waiting to release. So like I have a song coming out. The whole goal of this like year, 2023, was like a song every other month. I'm already realizing like it's just not as just the whole school thing and graduating it's been difficult. But I got a song coming out 420. It's not really like meant to be like a smoke song per se, but the song is called Get High Calm Down. So like, thought, all right, that's a good time to market it. But it isn't about just smoking weed. It's really like the whole song is just like whatever you need to get high to calm down. It's like not saying you should do other things to get high, calm down, but like, even if that's just going to the gym or just whatever it is, like just relax. And like, it's not always like, you don't always have to be so stressed out. But then I have so many other, like I probably have an EP coming out with my other buddies, Two Sauce, and like another EP coming out graduation day, May 6th. So I'm like really excited about that. But, yeah, just like a lot of really cool things going. And it's kind of crazy because like May 6th when I graduated high school, I released an EP with my buddy. And that was like 5 songs, iPad plug and mic. And I don't know, one of my like everyone wants me to like just release. I've been promoting a lot of songs on like TikTok, Instagram. So they've been hearing the same songs for like past couple months. And like I realized like I do want to take advantage of the opportunity of still being in college and having like, the network of like the close niche kind of like college kind of thing that we have at High Point that is definitely like a lot of state schools, it'd be different. But yeah, I mean it's kind of different. Everyone knows everyone in a certain extent here, but just because we have like 6,500 kids. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna release a 6, I don't know, I'm thinking 5-6 song EP and then like do that and then also have the summer stuff. I just want to like have a lot of stuff for like people to, remember me and just like, and also it'd be full circle. Like I did it when I was in high school graduating. So now I'm kind of like, oh, I mean, and I deleted that because I was like iPad plug and mic stuff. So like, it's like, all right, this is like the new me. And like, this is kind of where I've gone the past 4 years of like since graduation. So, yeah, a lot of cool stuff. That was kind of like a tangent, but I mean, just kind of going through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool to have both sides of it. I was gonna say, like, when you mentioned the iPad plug-in mic thing, I was like,
Yeah.
none of the music that I've listened to of yours sounded like it. It all sounds like it's from like a professional studio. So I was like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I deleted that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not on there
It's
anymore.
done.
It
It's gone.
definitely, I mean, and it wasn't, I mean, like, it wasn't terrible, but and a lot of people were surprised when they thought it was just like from an iPad plug and mic. But like, yeah, definitely, I don't know. I was ready to, start actually like getting rid of those and, kind of improving the brand and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
What was it like transitioning like to a new area and trying to start? Because it sounds like you kind of started this music thing at the end of high school, moved to a new city for school, and then trying to like connect with new people that you probably didn't know, but then also trying to do like your own thing at the same time.
I mean, yeah, it was a roller coaster because like, for the first like semester, like, so my freshman year, we dealt with COVID going into second semester. So that was, that was kind of weird. But it was looking back, it's just kind of funny because like I was still promoting, like I think I got rid of my stuff summer of freshman year. Like I deleted the iPad unplugging stuff, mic stuff. So like I don't know, it kind of makes sense to a certain extent, but like I think initially like everyone has the beginning stages, and so I think like it wasn't the music I'm releasing now, so I had actually even at the time I didn't, but so I was promoting my stuff with an iPad and plug and mic, and like thinking back to it, it kind of makes sense for certain things. Like I made friends. I did like I did a summer course like for high, like to get into my college. I had to like go to like summer advantage, what they call it. That other people won't,
Yeah.
but also kind of crazy guys. We go to the same college. We didn't know that, or I think we
Yeah.
did. I didn't know that, so that was kind of wild. But so I was promoting my stuff that like I know now, like it wasn't like per se cringy, like it wasn't bad, but like it definitely like isn't the music that I'm making now. So I think initially like I had a lot of friends and like it was difficult for me to like kind of I was known probably as like there's not a lot of people that do music here, so I was definitely like known as the kid that does music, but like some people thought it was good, some people were definitely making fun of me, which is like you know what I mean? It's like it's everything, you know what I mean? Not like I don't like whatever, like but so when I started releasing actually like so when I found my producer or like really like wanted to like invest into it, so like COVID happened, I'm like screw it, like I'm gonna find a producer because we were back in our hometowns, so I find a producer that like I actually like the sound engineer Johnny Grande, great guy, best friend, but uh it was kind of like it was the turning point, and still my writing wasn't even there still. So like I have a couple songs that came out, like two songs came out, and I realized like all right, now that I have this like professional studio stuff, like I potentially like should think about like getting rid of my old stuff. And I think after I got rid of that, and I did a rebrand too of like I haven't even like, technically announced it because it took a minute. Like it took almost like 2 years for like the distribution company that I work with to fully change my name. But um I used to be like Z hyphen money sign. But then I changed it to just like ZSHIM. So like that just like the whole rebrand and then me actually just releasing good music, like definitely was a good turning point. But I mean, yeah, it was scary. I mean, like putting like as an artist and just like putting music out that, is like emotionally like, it's you gotta, you're vulnerable and like you just have to be like okay with like understanding that, everyone's gonna have something to say and like blocking out the things that like weren't always like the most like positive and also like I don't know, I think there's like a college isn't meant for everyone, but there is a necessity for it in a certain extent to like this like kind of era of like I mean college is definitely like you want a job that can set you up, like you should probably go to college unless you are I mean I was confident on it. I probably would have dropped out if my dad wasn't like such a big influence in my life, but I stuck with it and like everything happens for a reason. I was then able to open up for Max, like a multi-platinum recording artist, which like that was super cool. Like, like so no matter what, I look back at like all the times I wanted to like leave college and like kind of just like go full on just LA or Nashville, whatever I want to do. Like I'm happy I'm still here. I'm happy like even though like I know I could have gone a certain way and I still could have succeeded, I would have still been releasing good music. There's a certain like community that we have here and like but to your point there, to your question, it was a transition period. And like I don't know, I'm comfortable at like who I am now. And like it's not that I wasn't back then, but I definitely like I knew that if I kept working at it, I was gonna get to where I want to be. But like for a while, like it was just, trying to still am I a college student? Am I an artist? Like what am I? And so like after I figured that out and after like I knew like no, like you're an artist that is in college right now that is just trying to get by, like just trying to get that piece of paper that's really important to the society for like a super sure. I don't know. I don't like, I mean, I will not like, even if I'm working in marketing or doing something for like a label or something, like before I get the whole artist thing going, like they're not going to ask me what my GPA is. They're like, they're probably going to want to know, like, if I have a diploma, because that is the important part, but like, they don't care about the grades. Like, they don't like, and even to a certain extent, some of them don't care about the college thing. Like they just care about like, if you want to be a sound engineer or something, like what experience do you have? Like who have you worked with? Like how long have you been working on Pro Tools? Like, so it's just been trying to balance like just all that. But I mean, like I'm finally like comfortable and like I've understood that like, you everything happens for a reason. That's kind of like always like my biggest quote, I think, for everything. It just if I don't believe that, like I don't know, like what are we doing here? Like
Yeah.
in terms of everything. Like I mean, life sucks sometimes. So it's just like, but so believing that, always makes me feel better. But yeah, I mean, it was, being an artist is a vulnerable thing. So it's kind of just like being okay with like people hearing the different side of you that they probably wouldn't have known, because I don't like talk about the things that I talk about in my songs like on a regular basis, but people hear it. I just hope they relate to it, and it helps them. So I mean, definitely but it took a while for me to like actually be comfortable with that, and like okay with being a college student, and like also trying to like push myself out there. Like it was like, I think I don't think I was posting like anything on it. It took a while for me to like differentiate the part of like, on Instagram, like, is this like my professional, like, is this like the Zach Schimberg like version of like my Instagram, or is this like a ZSHIM thing? And at one point I finally, like, I don't know, maybe like a year ago or something, like I changed it to like ZSHIM, and I was like, fuck it, because like, I had followers on that. I didn't want to start a whole new account. Which like I think some people were probably like a little annoyed about. They're like, oh, this is how his music account, and like I just put music on it all the time and not his like personal stuff. But like I tried mixing it up, but like it's also just like I mean, it made sense. Like it was just like, so, but I wasn't posting reels or anything for like, oh, I mean, I only started posting reels I think like a year ago, and like if I would have done that like 3 years ago, I mean, the growth I would have had, that would have been so much more. But well, actually, I don't even know when they started the real thing, but like, but it was just like that was the bigger thing. Was I could post on my Instagrams and stuff like that, but like being comfortable with like constantly making content and stuff, that was like something that took the most time. And in this day and age, like you need to make content, and like you need to like push yourself out even more than you're comfortable with. And like getting to that point, that was like a rough one. But I'm here now, I guess, and like just trying to call it. And also our school is like a little weird. It's not like a normal state school. I mean, I mean, we're not a number here, which is cool. Like I think if I was in a state school, I could have seen myself dropping out earlier, or like not passing, because like I just probably would have been consumed, and hopefully not, because like hopefully I would have been super serious about the artist stuff. But almost to a certain extent, this school made it easier for me to focus on it rather than a state school, because like state schools you could find a party every day. Like this school, it's like, you're not always like, there's no reason to go find a party on a Monday. Like one, you're not really gonna find one. Like at least for me, you'll find a couple of fraternity brothers drinking, but like, why am I drinking on Monday? Like,
Yeah.
well, I say that, but I mean, we actually do go to BBJ's on Monday. But,
BBJ's.
but I mean, on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But I mean, yeah. So,
That helps
um,
being in a city where there's like nothing. I mean, you got Greensboro pretty close by,
yeah,
but there's really nothing in High Point.
yeah, and I missed my class today because I went after hours, and that was just but yeah. So to back to that though, yeah, roller coaster. It was weird. It was like I had to like accept that like this is who you are now, and like you have to just do it and like not give a fuck about what people think. So
Yeah,
that
and
was
I feel like that's such a hard year to do it because I feel like when you first start out in college, for a lot of people, it's like it's either like high school again or like a first date where you're like trying to put out your best self and you want everyone to like you because you're new.
yeah,
And you're just like, well, I'm gonna do this thing and hopefully it
and
floats.
and like it didn't hurt with the whole friend thing. It definitely hurt with the girl thing. I think for a little bit, like for
Yeah.
a little bit, I think it was kind of like, oh, you're that guy. And I was just like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, and like initially, like the music wasn't where like it is now. And like, you know, I, and it's so annoying too, because like right when like the numbers and right when like certain things started popping, like it changed. Like it was just
Yeah.
like it was black and white. Like it was literally like just so like one day just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now
I
like
won't talk
now
to you
like
because of it.
now
We would talk
and
to you
now
because of
people want to talk about it, and now people want to be like, oh no, listen to his music and everything. But I'm like, I still had this exact same music out before. I mean, yes, I got rid of like, but this is like after the iPad plug and mic stuff. But like, but yeah, it was just like, I don't know. I don't know what people like. I mean, I get it because like a lot of people say like, oh, well, I have a lot of people that say like, that come up to me, they're like, my friend says they do music and I listen to their music and it sucked. And I was just like, true. I mean, like, and like, I mean, everyone's got their starting point. That's maybe what people thought about me initially, but like, but now that I have like my image, it's definitely like, I don't know. People are always surprised that they're like, whoa, like I'm not used to someone saying they do music, and then like your music actually sounding good, but also just like, I don't know, if they like pop music, then they're like, no, but I also enjoy it too. That's also like, so it's just difficult because I imagine there are a lot of people who are trying to pursue it, and so it's like people always hear me say it and they think I'm a SoundCloud rapper, and then they realize like, oh no, he's a little bit more professional than a SoundCloud rapper. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird that the whole number thing. I mean, it makes sense, but like I've had the same music out like for like a minute, and people are like, it's all part of the game, and like it's just the process, I guess. So
I mean, I think
it just
that's yeah, I think
seemed,
that's why those companies can make money off of selling followers and stuff is because
yeah,
until you have
yeah,
the
yeah,
numbers there, people don't take it seriously, and that's just part of the growth, and you just have to ride it out to a certain extent. But yeah,
yeah.
it is irritating when you're like, I swear I'm like I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah, it's
par
gonna
here.
be like, and I don't know.
Like,
I've definitely gotten to the point where I don't really like, and it's cool that like there's certain times where like I'll say it. Like I don't like being like at parties. I don't like being like, you know what I mean? Like if people bring it up, I'll talk about it. But like I'm not like the one that like wants to, play my music like all the time or anything like that. Like maybe every once in a while I'll just do a performance just because like people normally enjoy it. But like but yeah, like when people like I'll say the music thing once if like we're talking about it, and if they don't want to keep pressing it or if they don't want to like take like look it into it, like then cool. But like when they do, or like normally they're like they'll hit me back to be like, yo, what? Like I wasn't expecting that. But which is always like those are the things that really like keep me motivated when I hear that. I don't know. It's just like hearing that like my music's helping people and like actually doing like what it does for me. Like that's I don't know. That's like the only thing that I've wanted like throughout this whole process is like that I'm helping people. So like I
yeah.
don't know.
What
Definitely.
was what was the song that you put out that you feel like switched the numbers? Like, was there a song that you put out where you saw like a huge amount of growth?
Yeah, feeling young was the start, definitely. Because like that song, I mean, it's not right now, but that was like current. It's not anymore. Trap Center Room is like my biggest one right now. I think it's about to hit 300K, which is kind of cool. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's like almost at 300K, isn't it? On
what?
Spotify. Is it, I
Yeah,
think I just
yeah,
listened to it the other day. I was like almost at 300K on
yeah. It's
Spotify.
almost at 300K, and that's just on Spotify. So I think it's probably like 350 in like total of all my platforms. But Spotify is like so much better than everything else that I've worked with, just because their algorithm and their just like how they can get music to new people, like it's better than Apple. I don't know. Apple Music's kind of run by industries a lot of the time. Like you really gotta like you get really lucky. Like pre-saves help a lot, and I get more Spotify pre-saves than I do Apple Music, and also my pre-save link wasn't working on Apple Music for a while. So that's one thing. But the other thing is to just like labels kind of control a lot of like those playlists that you'll see on Apple Music versus like you can have curated playlists like that random people will make on Spotify that they can put your stuff on, and that that's kind of a game changer for one thing. And uh but yeah, it was feeling young. Like it was feeling young kind of started. I mean, that was also like, I mean, at the time that was like my best song. Like when I came out with it and everything, everyone was kind of like, I think it was like a not like a shell shock, but it was everyone was like, whoa, like this is like I enjoy this music. Like people that like the feel good kind of like stuff like that. Like everyone was like, dude, like you gotta do more of this. And I mean, honestly, I haven't done like anything, I don't think like that song per se since, just because I've just been hopping around with like different kind of things. But but yeah, after that, like it was just like certain, I certain songs, but I knew like when I made Chop Center Room, like I was definitely like, all right, when I release this, like this song's gonna like do like a lot better than like my other songs. Like there's no doubt. And yeah, I mean it's doing it. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And everything that song's done.
Yeah, it is weird how because I've always been big on Spotify versus Apple Music, but I
Yeah.
tried Apple Music for a little bit, and I don't like how like even if you listen to artists, follow artists, like when Friday comes and you want like if you're artist that you listen to the most, like you want to see their stuff, it's like
Mhm.
always like just the big artists, like you said, it's like the industry stuff. Whereas
Yeah. Yeah.
Spotify,
Yeah,
you'll get like
exactly.
those
Mm-hmm.
smaller artists that you follow and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had it for like a month and instantly was like, nope. I joked that like Spotify was superior and I never used Apple, and now it's like, nope, Spotify is superior.
No, no, I agree. It's just it's disappointing because like I don't know, like I definitely wish I mean I use Apple Music currently still. Like that's more just because I don't know. I honestly should switch because technically apparently you can get on Spotify for you can get on Spotify I think because we're students like it's like $1 or something, right? Or
Yeah,
like maybe
yeah. It's like
$10 or something
that.
like
Yeah, it's like four bucks or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is like I don't know. It's like, oh, maybe I
Yeah.
should have thought about that, but now it's like I also I what we have like 6 weeks,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. A few weeks left here and then we'll be all done.
what I'm saying like I don't even if I switch and then they start making me pay more after like
Yeah.
I
It's not worth it.
yeah
What went into you like creating your own degree there? Like how did you know that that was the route you wanted to go?
Um, dude, this is only High Point how this worked. Nito, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like so. Our president Nito, he's definitely like he's a good guy. I mean, it's really like I mean, there's no president like him in the country. I'm gonna say like yeah, like for us, like we'll be walking on campus and we'll see our president, and like that's not like if you guys are in college, big state schools, like I imagine you have there's a lot of people that have never seen their president or like at least like in person, like you know what I mean. And my dad basically because I was like reaching the point. I think it was like into sophomore year, maybe even going into junior year, because I think I created it junior year, but I don't know if it was like happening during summer. But it was at one point I just was like really looking into like the whole transfer process and like I just didn't like the idea that I was a comm student. I was doing media production, entrepreneurship, um, and I was just like you know I like the video stuff, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do music, and I was like, if I'm gonna in with the college degree, like it should be in music. And so I was like, definitely ready to, or I was also just like ready to say fuck it and drop out. But like, it was most likely it was like, if anything, I was gonna be do the transfer thing. But also, if I transferred, it would have taken more time out of my college. Like I would have to be probably in college even like a semester longer. And I all I wanted to do was wherever the quickest thing for me to like graduate was. So my dad ended up like reaching out to the president, which this is also like this is only High Point, like where a parent will reach out to your president and the
Yeah.
president will get back to you. He literally gets back to him in like 10 minutes. And like, cause he just sends him a thing about basically, hey, like my son is like kind of thinking about transferring. Like, he doesn't really know what to do. He does music. He's just been wanting to find out what he can do. There's nothing here that really does that. Long story short, he's like, you can create an independent major. And kind of set me up with the right people to get that started. And then like I just like created like a kind of like a not a calendar, but my like syllabus of just not syllabus, a
Academic
schedule.
plan. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
just what classes I would need to take for that to be. And like I'm not gonna lie, you'll go to Belmont and you'll get a real music business degree. Like I'm not like my music business degree is not what a lot of. I mean, but the other thing is like the only reason I'm confident about everything is because I've been doing the whole independent artist thing for like the past like 4.5 years. So like I know this industry. Like I've been doing the whole like I've been doing like everything. I'm my manager. I'm my publisher, marketing person. Like I do all that for myself. So like I'm confident and like I know it. But like and that's why I've talked to. So also the dean ended up being like of communication ended up being like my advisor, which is kind of like it definitely helped me out in the long run just because it's the dean of communication. So like
Yeah.
but so I don't know with me creating it and having kind of like I'm hoping that in a couple years I can come back and give them like a good like kind of like yo you guys need to teach these classes because they're now that they're doing it there's like I think 5 or 6 kids that are like now music business majors and they're like yo we're not even offering this and like we've had 5, 6 kids switch and like so now they're talking about it. They used to have a studio. They got rid of it for like office space or something. And now they're like, all right, we should probably get another studio. So I've been like helping them out with like kind of like equipment and just telling them like what they should do for like that, the next steps for this. But I don't know. It'd be sick to come back and like actually like, see a music business school here or just like, that being a major. I don't know. Definitely.
Yeah, especially
Definitely.
because you were the one that started it. Like you can
That's
look
what I'm
back and
saying.
be like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, like I
High
started.
key, high key, there was a girl that started it like it wasn't the same like it was music business, but like she was doing it for like a different route and I was doing it more for like the artist kind of route. So like and she did that like 3, 4 years ago. So I was just like I heard about it and then like the dean's talking to me about it. She showed me her schedule and I was like, okay, like that's fire. Like I definitely already have like we kind of mixed it in with a lot of my comm credits that I had like for the media stuff. So like it kind of worked out. But like if I was like in England, I don't know, just like something that wouldn't make sense to be like a music business degree, it would have been a lot more difficult. But so it was a little makeshift of the schedule that like my whole music business degree is like on. Now we won't tell the companies that I'm trying to get a job with that,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely it was really cool, like just to be able to have the opportunity. Well, the thing was, I mean, like I think more why like I feel like not that I created it, but it's just the fact that like after that, people actually start doing it. Like, you know, like I know they were like not expecting to have someone else do that. And then like when I did it, like one of my buddies who like knew, like I knew he was like, you know, big music guy, heard me doing it. And like we've always, he was also doing media. He like switches, you know, he hears me doing that. He's like, all right, switches, you know, does that. And then like four other people follow. And we're just like, oh, that's dope. So now it's kind of like a thing where I'm like, all right, like we've actually started like showing the school, like this is a, I don't know, the music industry is becoming more of a thing where like you should be teaching this in a school like ours.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it's dope. Like I hope to come back and be, you know, if the money's right, I'll, you know, donate a little bit, just be able to help out. But like, but yeah, it'd be definitely.
It is cool to know too that you're, you know, in a way you're changing kids that might have dropped out of school and now they have this opportunity to take this program that they wouldn't have existed before, and now maybe they finish and get a degree and have a
Feels
better chance
good.
of pursuing
Mm-hmm.
their dreams in music. Because I think it, like, knowing the other side of business, no matter what you go into, I think is such a key factor. Like even going to physical
Mm-hmm.
therapy, like my last rotation, I got to learn a lot about like marketing with doctors and stuff like that. And I think knowing
Mm-hmm.
how to sell yourself as an artist or whatever career you go into is such a huge leg up on everything else, because then you know the ins and outs of it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I 100% agree. I don't know. It is cool being able to, you know, hopefully come back and see, you know, what improvement the course has had, because who knows, maybe I could do speaking one day for it, but yeah,
Yeah, maybe like a graduation, like when they have
that's
like
what I'm saying.
a
Yeah,
class, like have the
it'd be
founder come
crazy.
in, created it.
Wild.
Well, this has been awesome to sit down with you and chat with you. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your
Oh
day,
yeah,
getting to learn more
yeah,
about
dude.
you.
I appreciate you reaching out and everything. I definitely like you know, everything you know you're doing, just trying to promote, you know, independent artists and everything is a very cool thing to, you know, be doing. And it's crazier that you were, you know, also at High Point.
Also at the same school the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild. We not a big school, so that was not crazy.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
one in like lots of millions chance that that happens. But
yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't wait for you to hear some of this new music coming out. Like it's definitely like, I don't know, like everything I've been releasing has been like I made like a year ago. So
Mhm.
like the stuff I've been building like for like a minute now, like I'm really excited for people to hear like the kind of the new me. And yeah, it's only the beginning. And like I just, you know, we'll be doing this, and you know, your channel's gonna grow, like I'm gonna grow. So, you know, one day we're gonna be like, bro, remember you know,
Yeah, remember back in the day? Yeah. No, I think
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
remember
saying. Yeah.
your Get High, Calm Down song. You teased it
Yeah.
a little bit, right? On social media?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, I mean yeah, it's like stop acting so delirious, all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. By the dresser and stuff.
Yeah,
I've been excited
I'm
for that song.
right here. Prediction is that song will be the first to hit 1 million. Like I'm thinking like, I don't know. I got a really good feeling about that one. If I get the right people behind it too, like
Mhm.
stuff in the works right now. But I don't know. I'm like super excited about that one. It's been a long time coming. So I'm happy that, you know, you've been hearing that one, because yeah, I don't know. I think that one per se is probably like, if it wasn't for some of these new songs, like that one, it will always be like one of my favorites for so many different reasons. But like it helps me so many times when I'm dealing with something like rough, and so like I want to be able to finally give it to people, of like, just I don't know. I'll just be laying in bed when I'm dealing with something, and I just turn it on, and it completely just heals me. Like I don't know, like that is music should do that. That is music is can heal people in so many different ways. So I'm just grateful to be able to have like a song that I know like is gonna change a lot of people's lives in like a good way. So I can't wait for you to hear, man.
Yeah,
But
I'm looking forward to it. I
oh
really
yeah,
appreciate your
oh
time,
yeah,
and
oh yeah, dude. Hey, this
yeah.
is first one. You know what I mean? First one of many
Yeah,
for
first one.
both of us.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty lucky. I got the first one. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I will definitely never forget this. I'll tell you that.
yeah,
But hell yeah, man, definitely. You know, if ever on campus or anything, definitely got a link. But yeah, it's great meeting you.
yeah. Well,
Oh
good luck
yeah,
with the rest of the year and all your drops, and
appreciate it,
looking
man.
forward to 420 for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hell yeah. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, have a good
Bye,
one.
peace.